Hello and welcome to today's lesson from the IELTS coach. In today's lesson, we're going to look at an IELTS reading matching strategy. So this is a strategy you can use in the reading exam for matching type questions, matching headings, matching information, even matching speakers to information. The strategy and the process is going to be similar. So let's get into the strategy and then I will share some extra tips as well. So the first step for this type of strategy is not to read the question. Don't look at the headings first. The first step is to read paragraph A. Only paragraph A. Don't read the text. Don't read the questions. Read paragraph A. Read it quite quickly. You want to skim paragraph A and get the main idea. What's the focus? Not one idea, not a keyword. You're not matching keywords. What is the idea of that paragraph? If you had to give that paragraph a heading, what would it be? What do you think that paragraph focuses on? So that's step one. Skim the paragraph, get the idea in your head what you think it should be. Step two is where we move to the list of headings and then find one that matches your idea. So you may have to go back and look at the paragraph again briefly just to make sure, to double check. But now you look quickly through the headings and find the one that matches. Step three, is to make that decision. Okay, make the decision which one is most similar to what you think the paragraph is about. And the important part here is write the letter of the paragraph next to the number of the heading or information. So don't write number 3 next to the paragraph. Write A next to number 3, if that's the case. So this is a situation in reading where you're not answering the questions in order. You're not doing number 1, 2, 3. You're doing it in the order of paragraphs. Be careful not to get mixed up and writing numbers and letters in the wrong place. So still write your answer next to the question, which is the headings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they won't be in order. So in this case, we might have number 3 is for paragraph A, you would write A next to number 3. It's just easier to do that when we come to transferring. Step 4 is to move on. You found the answer to paragraph A, move on to paragraph B, do the same thing. Skim paragraph B, think of what it focuses on, think of what you would choose as the heading, then look at the choices, make that decision, write B next to number 1, if that's the case. So write the paragraph letter next to the information or the heading number. And be aware that there may be more than one piece of information in one paragraph, and there may be no information. So this is for headings. Usually you have to give a heading to every paragraph. But sometimes paragraph B might not have any of the answer choices. So paragraph B may not be an answer, but paragraph C could be the answer for number 1 and number 6. So with that type of matching, be careful. You don't need one letter for every question. There will be some paragraphs that don't have any of the relevant information. For headings, usually except for an example, there will be a heading for each paragraph. And there may be 6 paragraphs, but 10 headings. So you're not going to use all of the headings. But look at that, be careful, especially with that numbers and letters. Number 1, what is the letter? Number 2, what is the letter? I see quite often students getting mixed up. So just make that clear and be careful. So that's a fairly simple, hopefully a straightforward strategy for matching type questions. With the reading exam, it is a different strategy for the different question types. So in this case, we are not reading all question 1 first, which is what I would normally recommend for a short answer question. In this case, we're reading paragraph A only once. You should only need to read it once, then matching it to the choices that you have. This means you read each paragraph only one time. You may need to read the headings more than once, but they're short, so that's okay. So think about the different strategies and what makes sense. You don't need to read the whole text first. Don't read all of the headings first. You will forget them anyway. Do one thing at a time. Paragraph A, find the heading, make your decision. Paragraph B, find the heading, make your decision. Okay, keep doing that. And you may need to come back to it, but we'll look at that in the tips. So a few tips that I have for reading exam in general, not just specifically for matching. The first tip is try to spend 1 minute finding each answer. So 1 minute to find the answer for number 1. 1 minute to match paragraph B to a heading. Just 1 minute. You do that, this teaches your brain to be quick. You're not just, oh, I've got to find the answer. No, quick, I've got a minute, let's do it. Train yourself, 1 minute. If it's a little bit longer, a little bit less, that's okay. But try and have that urgency so you can focus on the reading faster, skimming and scanning more quickly. This means that you will spend about 40 minutes finding answers. There are 40 questions. So you will have about 40 minutes to find all of the answers. Then you have time left over. So you won't be in a hurry. Maybe you didn't find some of them. Maybe after 1 minute you couldn't find the answer. You move on to the next question. That's okay. If you've got most of the questions answered in 40 minutes, then you can use 10 minutes to check anything that you missed or any questions you weren't sure. Maybe you chose 2 answers, 2 headings for paragraph A because you weren't sure. That's okay. You can do that. But go back and use that 10 minutes to double check. To check not every question, you don't have time, but the ones you weren't quite sure about or the ones you missed completely, and make a decision, make a choice. And then 10 minutes to transfer. So you're not given extra time to transfer, and I generally recommend transferring at the end of each section, which will add up to about 10 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes for passage 1, passage 2, passage 3. But you want to make sure you're allowing time. Don't go all the way 60 minutes just answering questions. You want time to check. You want time to transfer. You want time to make sure you've answered every question. So if you think 60 minutes for answering questions, that's not going to be right. Aim for 40 or 45. You have 15 minutes to check and transfer more carefully and avoid silly mistakes. Also, when practicing for the reading exam, use reading texts as a tool. What you read about in the text is great. It's good for learning new vocabulary, not just about answering the question. Did you learn any new words? Because those new words and those topics might be in your real reading test. They might be useful in your writing exam. You might hear them as part of a listening test. So use it as an opportunity to learn vocabulary and information. Students often ask me, oh, what is the best vocabulary to learn for IELTS? And my answer is reading text. That vocabulary is going to be useful. It's academic, you're going to come across it again, and it will help you to understand more, and you can read more quickly. Oh, I know that word, you can move on. Instead of getting stuck like students do in the reading, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that. The more words you know from a reading text, the easier it will be, the faster you will be able to complete it. And when practicing, especially for reading, don't just do it to answer questions. My job is to answer 40 questions. But it's a good opportunity to learn, not just vocabulary, but general knowledge. Even me, when I do tests with students and materials, I learn a lot from IELTS books. I learn a lot about facts and history and statistics, and there's a lot of information that's really good, and it's true. It's not made up. They will have a history about a company or a place or a person, and that's true information. Use that. That's good to know. It's good as a general knowledge thing. It may help you in speaking topics. It may help you support your ideas in a writing exam. So don't just look at it as test, test, test. Yes, this will help me in the test. It will also help my vocabulary. This reading will also give me new information, increase my knowledge. Okay, in English or in your native language, that's a good thing. So don't just be too focused on the test and you forget knowledge that they are trying to show you or teaching you. So I hope this short strategy and these few reading tests have helped you. I have been doing more reading videos and I plan to continue that. So if you have any comments or questions or suggestions for new videos, please leave a comment below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.